Yo! Hello! Hello, my friends and compatriots. Oh, there's still more of these. Hello. Howdy. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. It's what is it? What could you call it but fate, but destiny? I need to get myself some food. Just a little bit of food for Big A. That's all I need today. A little food for Big A. Sweaty hot dog guy. It's not what I prefer to be called. Atrioc would be great. I don't know if you ever considered that. Just a common courtesy. Just a common courtesy. Sabazin, thank you for the sub. Video Games James, thank you for the 11 months. Satellite Blue, thank you for the 9 months. Dillers Corp, thank you for the 7 months. Chibble, thank you for the 28 months. Small Sad, Tiny Peepee Boy, thank you for the 34 months. Have you heard the new Childish Gambino album? I didn't hear all of it. I liked what I heard, but I was really focused on the Denzel album, which I thought was fucking fire. Fire. Actually, I'm going to change shirts. 1 second. The new Denzel Curry is heat. Let me put on... just going to fucking play it. That's what I'm going to do. Yo. Yo. Put on some Tommy M. I've never heard of Tommy M. Who the hell is Tommy M? Atrioc playing his mixtape? You imagine one day I just show up and just start blasting my own custom rap album, Brandon from the Streets, True Story of a Gangster. And it's actually good, and you guys are like, damn, wait a minute, he's really had it in him all this whole time. Oh, Tom McDonald. That's Tommy M. Yeah, Tom McDonald. That's my goat. Would you go back to Fortnite if Trump was a skin? You think the one thing holding me back from playing Fortnite is that Donald J. Trump is not a skin? That the game is too woke? You caught me. That's exactly what I'm waiting for. If I can't play as the Don, I won't land at Risky Reels. You should play with me. I'm really good at Fortnite. That's not really the limiting factor, Potato Corrales. I actually think... Fuck, that's sour. Woo! I think if I wanted to find someone good at Fortnite to play with me, I wouldn't have a tough time. The problem is finding a reason to play Fortnite. So why would I want to do that? Who would win in the no-build 1v1, Trump or Biden? It's a really good question. I'm actually not sure. You said zero build? Trump can't build the wall. That's going to be a problem. It's going to be a negative. I think Trump wins build, Biden wins no build. Ah. Damn, that's good. I've seen Biden crank 90s. You've seen that, Tim. You have seen Joseph R. Biden crank 90s. I'm not... where? When? In what context did you see our current president play Fortnite and crank 90s? In his spare time. No, what I'm saying is, how did you, Tim, see Joe Biden? Like, what is your relationship with Joe Biden? And why did he let you see him play Fortnite in his spare time? When did this... He streams. He streams. I see. I see. Oh, he streamed you on Discord. So it was a private, personal Discord stream. Okay. Well, I can't argue with that because it seems like it's unverifiable fact. Yeah, all right. Well, you guys disproved me. I guess I lose this round yet again. The powers of chat. It's almost like, man, it's you guys say so much stuff that I wouldn't normally believe, but you always can back it up. It's like, and then there's always someone in chat that will vouch for you. So, so it's like, what do you... it's crazy. It's really crazy. I feel like I'm right on a lot of these things, but it never seems to catch up with the reality. We are the peer review. You are peers, and you do review. Is the bitrate okay? It's flashing red a little bit. I want to make sure it's okay. And then we're gonna watch something. Remember when I made you laugh with a TikTok the other day? Not particularly, but I'll watch your new TikTok. Let's see. Eminem, Gen Z is soft. They can't handle my edgy lyrics. Am I walk of fire? Whether that's that's also bad. It's like not good. Not fun music. Can we watch Jotes beat Inner Father on Sekiro? No, but you can. You can do that. I encourage it. Jotes is great. Do you think you're going to finish the UK video? Probably not. I don't think I'd have any. It's the same stuff. Simmerer, thank you for the 37 months. Any pickup line when we play Roblox with girls? I got nothing for you. Good luck. Godspeed. Can we watch an Elden Ring lore video? I haven't beaten the DLC yet, so I don't want to watch any lore. But after I beat it, fuck that sour. Those are the sourest fucking candies. God damn. I really kick. After I beat it, I would like to do a lore dump. Really understand. Don't copium me. I will beat it. We beat Elden Ring. It just took a few months. I play it off and on, you know? Can't do it every day. It's not... Why don't you watch Gen V? Do you hate it? I don't hate it. But I feel like I feel like Gen V to me is like Boba Fett. If you watch Mandalorian, it's like I just don't need it. You know, they're gonna wrap it all up, and then I'll tell me the details by the time it. Can we watch Inside Out 2? I will 1000% get banned. We've pushed it a little bit. We pushed the line. If I watch Inside Out 2, the world's biggest movie right now, I'll get banned for sure. LSD MTG, thank you for the nice first-time chat message. Welcome to the stream. Do you still follow Melee content? Of course. Here's a recent video about Melee. But we... no disrespect. We just watched this. So recently. Like probably yesterday or what. we watched the whole damn thing. Get banned or get bans? If I watch Inside Out 2, I guess I would get bans for a minute as everyone's like, oh shit, it's the Inside Out 2 guy. And they'd all come in and we watch it over and over and over again. If we had a daily Inside Out 2 watch party, and then I would get banned, the first one. Try to beat Freelancer, no guns, only weapons found. All Freelancer challenges that aren't trying to beat it fast, I think are really dumb. With no disrespect intended, but they all are solved by just playing really slowly. So they're not that fun to me. The strategy for everything is to just take your time, go incredibly slowly. There's no skill to it, but I think beating it fast is really fun because it's very hard. You have to make all these just choices really quickly. Did you do the Diana challenge with Squeaks? No, he tried hardcore and then quit instantly. That's kind of what I expected. It's unfortunate. I don't know if we can get any normie people to play hardcore. It's like very, very punishing. Snickers Knee, thank you for 25 months. Big A, I just had an interview with CrowdStrike the day before the patch. I assume they're not calling you back right now. I'm sure they're a little too busy. Is it worth it continuing forward? Yeah, go for it. Whatever. They're not going out of business. If you're joining their legal team, it's going to be an annoying couple months/years. Is there a way to reject gifted subs? I want to sub on 1st August, so it aligns with every other regular payment I have because it feels nicer. No, I don't think so. Can't you just... there's probably a way to organize that in your system. To have it charge you early. You could just have it in settings, right? Oh, is he baiting? He's baiting for a gift. Classic. Very, very clever. Very clever. Don't gift him. That's a very clever bait. But no cash flow. Leave it the 5 months. Goose Caboose, think of it too. All right. What if we watch an interesting YouTube video? What about that? What do you guys think about that idea? Oh man, did you guys see that South Sudan almost beat fucking the USA? That shit was close. Pretty fucking scary. That would have been a huge upset. South Sudan is like didn't even exist an Olympics ago, right? It's got a population of 12 million. It's like a city. Did they play the bench or what? Bro, the Team USA bench is an all-star team. 12 million ballers. It would have been awesome in South Sudan if they won that game. Team USA was cold all night. I mean, I didn't watch the game yet. I watched the one versus Serbia. I watched the one versus Canada. I think I saw highlights of who else did they play? Those are the two I actually watched. And it's so fun. It's so fun. It's fun watching an NBA super team just go fucking crazy. But apparently South Sudan gave them the business. Have you seen the end of Acolyte? No, I'm not caught up. Acolyte, I was really out of Acolyte, and then I watched the lightsaber fight episode. I think it's 5, and I was like, oh, that's pretty good. And so I'm gonna get back into it. I'm trying to finish it out. I'll give it an honest, fair shake. But I'm not invested. It's certainly no Andor. It's no Andor to me. You watched House of the Dragon? No, I'm going to binge. I'm going to binge it. I've decided I am going to binge it. So I'm not watching House of the Dragon. I actually want to just fucking take a weekend and just be degenerate and watch the whole season. I want to get a bunch of snackies, get some food, maybe have some guests over, and I want to just sit down and I want to watch the whole House of the Dragon, taking breaks in between to go like for walks. Atrioc, we need to talk about a person in the community. This is your first chat message. Who's we, bro? You're not in the community. This is your first chat message. It's literally your first one. TikTok spoilers makes binging so hard. That's your algo, bro. You love it. You secretly love it. TikTok don't lie. If you really want to know a person's soul, have them hand you their phone and start scrolling their TikTok. It'll tell them. It don't lie, dude. It knows your inner thoughts. What if they don't have it? Well, then they're good. Unless they're YouTube Shorts pills, same thing. Just worse algo. Hey, Shark, do you know that Enron is sort of problematic? No. First of all, they didn't know. All right? Everyone at Enron just was an oopsie. They accidentally forged the accounting statements and hid the losses of the company on offshore fake LLCs. It was like a trip. You trip and you fuck. It's not their fault. So it's actually really problematic of you to blame them. People are allowed to make mistakes, you know. I speak on behalf of Gen Z that we're canceling Enron. Why don't you finish with Eminem? All right, finish canceling Eminem, then move on to Enron. Enron is over, party. Using problematic for life-ruining crimes goes crazy. Yeah, it's like calling Hitler problematic. I actually think Hitler was kind of problematic. I actually low-key think he was a little problematic. Stalin, too. Okay. Atrioc, I know you're a huge college football fan, so when are we getting a CFB 25 ASU dynasty? None of those words are in the Bible. I have no idea what you just said. I know ASU. I love college football. The thing I love most about it is when they move them chains. You know what I'm saying? Move them chains. I love when they pass the ball, but I also love when they kick the ball. And I love when the quarterback gets tackled, dude. Fucking love that. I love how they don't get paid. Yeah, that's my favorite part of all. My favorite part about college football is knowing for sure the athletes aren't making even a tiny percent of the revenue they're generating for the owners. That makes me the happiest. They get paid now. My understanding is they do get paid now, but it's still comparatively such a small percent. Could be dead wrong. But I know from, for example, this game that just came out that's selling like hotcakes, they're getting like an average of $200 each or whatever. It's like nothing. And the game is making absurd millions with their likenesses. Did you draft Dodge in Vietnam? I did, but for the Vietnamese side. Because you know what? I had to sit that one out. I don't think it was a just war on America's part, but I didn't want to fight for the Viet Cong, so I I decided to just stand down, you know? You have to fight in every war. Thoughts on the Eiffel Tower? Yeah, it's all right. Honestly, overrated. I'll say it. The Eiffel Tower, as far as world monuments, overrated. It's not. It's like fine. I've been to it. It's fine. It's a tower. You get on it. You go up. You're a little bit higher off the ground. It's nothing. Like, wow me, France. We could build that now in the day. I mean, have you been to the Las Vegas Sphere? Now that's a monument. Do you know what I'm saying? That's a fucking monument. That's like, that makes you proud to be in the country. Even among French-built monuments, the Statue of Liberty clears the Eiffel Tower by like 1 million. Statue of Liberty's like, holy shit. That's swag. You never get to see a statue that big. But you see the Eiffel Tower, and it's like, you see towers like that. Japan's got fucking 50 of them. Nah, bro. Eiffel Tower is peak like Holy Triangle. What does that mean? What does that mean? Pyramid of Giza is the goat of monuments. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, geez. I don't even know I know all these. Monument tier list. Monument tier list. Okay. Well, I can't edit them. I want to edit them. Remix this list. Okay. Put them back in question marks. Put them back in question marks. Put them back in question marks. What are the what do we got here? We is this see, I don't even know if I know all these. Especially off these pictures. Big Ben. Where do we put Big Ben on the monument tier list? I think it's pretty good. It's a big old clock. It's pretty good. I don't know if it's F. Nah, great, good, okay, dislike. Big Ben. I don't know. It's big. I mean, I like the name. Actually, I think if Big Ben was called like the Grand Clock, I would put it here. But they call it Big Ben, which is like fun. It's like it's got a fucking, it's got a name. I've anthropomorphized it. Big Ben is bad because it's loud. Yeah, but only for a tourist, dude. This is cool. All right, what about this? This is the Kremlin. This is the, what do they call this? The big it's next to the Kremlin. What is it? What is it called? Something. St. Basil's Cathedral. That's what it is. St. Basil's Cathedral. I put this in good. I think these are similar. Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore. It'd be funny if I just put all the American ones in. I've got an idea for a tier list, bro. I'm just gonna fucking S tier all of USA. I think Mount Rushmore is pretty fucking sick. I don't know if it makes it to, because it's so different. That's right. I guess what I'm saying about monuments, the reason I'm not giving the Eiffel Tower much cred is because there's a lot of towers, dude. Honestly, I might even move Big Ben down. Yeah. I'm looking, I think this list is off like, who's got some real swag? Like this. This is swag. This is the Terracotta Army. That's swag, dude. Just the fucking... That's a swag monument. It's a fucking... That's a cool... It's just cool. It goes hard. What else? Statue of Liberty, I think, is an S tier. I think is an S tier monument. Statue of Liberty is like a sick marketing move for America. I think Statue of Liberty goes dumb fucking hard. Isn't that French? It was built 100% by Americans in America. And then the French tried to steal it and take claim for it. It's made in the U.S. If you look at the back, it says made in the USA. George Washington built it with his bare hands. You see there's a ton of debate on if the Terracotta Army is real or not. What do you mean? Like it was built recently and they pretended it was old or what? I mean, it exists, right? I'm going to go off the fact that I think it's real. But I have, if evidence, hard evidence comes out that it's fake, then it'll lose its coveted spot on the Atrioc tier list. And I bet they're worried. Okay? If we find out that the Terracotta Army was faked, they are going to lose their official great on the Atrioc tier list specification. And that'll crush tourism. This is a powerful tier list. I mean, people are deciding their future vacations right now. All right. Another one that I think is pretty fucking good, if not great, is the Sydney Opera House. This is iconic. It's iconic, dude. It's like, for some Americans, this is the only thing we know about Australia plus kangaroos. They're all iconic. You don't get it. And I'm sorry, but you don't get it. It looks like a sailboat. SC tier at best. I mean, we're obviously on different wavelengths here. What is this? It's just like a big old bridge. If I don't immediately recognize it, I'm putting it in dislike. Okay. This is Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu. Doesn't Machu Picchu look kind of beat nowadays? I had a friend go to Machu Picchu and post pictures on Instagram, and I was looking at it and I was like, damn, looks kind of beat. It looks cool, IMO. They don't let you explore. Is this Christ the Redeemer not on here? That's a goat. That's a goat monument. Christ the Redeemer's not on here. That's crazy. All right, I'm going to put this in okay. What about this one? The Great Pyramid at Giza. It's got to be great, right? It's got in the name. That's got to be in there. It's in the name. It literally is great. Kind of overrated. What about the Sphinx? Is the Sphinx as good? I don't think so. I think the Sphinx is just okay. Honestly, Disneyland got better things than the Sphinx. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that. Certainly isn't stunning. Certainly I'm not blown away. Okay. This is the Imperial Palace. Honestly, not palatial enough. Just okay. What is this? I've been to this church. What's it called? That's where DBZ tournament arcs were filmed. All right, I'll put it up one. This is St. Glizzy's Cathedral. Great. The Colosseum is an S tier, obviously. Obviously, the Colosseum just fucking cracked. That's just a cracked monument. We don't have... Bro fought there. The Sphinx is in okay. Yeah, okay. The pyramid's in great. The Sphinx is in okay. Listen, the thing about tier lists that you guys don't ever seem to understand is that you have to delineate. You guys are all... The ideal chat tier list is you take everything and you throw it in the top tier. That's the ideal chat tier list, and it's useless. It's useless. You have to delineate. You have to... They're all wonders of the world. So among them, you have to delineate. And it's my list. I'm not going to do all these. Oh, you know what's what is this? This is the one that's built into the wall. This one's super sick. This photo's not the best of it. Petra. This one's awesome. It's actually like, how did they fucking build it? Can I get a better picture of Petra? Let me see. Yeah, look at this. This shit's crazy. It's actually unreal. Maybe this is an S tier monument. This is like, how'd they do it? It's AI generated. Petra, Russian Civ. Been there, brother. Been there. I feel like there's a lot of monuments missing. And they didn't get... Oh, Great Wall? Damn, I'm just fucking... Xi Jinping, send me a check. I gave China 2 S tiers. I'll move this one down to be safe. Great Wall's just great. It's too thin. You know what's crazy is like, they just made this up, but it's stuck. The thing about seeing the Great Wall from space, like, it's just not true. It's not the only monument from space. It's not even... But I think it's like... It's funny that that's stuck. It's also... It's such a... such a dumb idea. It's such a dumb idea to protect that much space. Can't defend against nukes, wasted government tax. Marketing wise, it's least... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Marketing wise, these are like the GOAT monuments. Is what I'm saying. Actually, this is like a marketing tier list. These are like the GOAT monuments. Maybe this one's down, actually, if I'm doing it based on that. But I'm not. This is a vibes-based tier list that doesn't need anything else other than that. What is this? Is this the Burj Khalifa? That doesn't even... No, it doesn't even qualify. There's not a... It's just a fucking... The Space Needle doesn't even touch... Is this the... What is this? What is this? Toronto? Or is the Tokyo Tower? Is this the Canadian one? Is this what fucking Drake was sitting on? Or is this Tokyo? This is kind of mid. I'll tell you that. From this, what's this? What's this? Just a bunch of hot air balloons? Here's what we're gonna do. I got a better idea. The 32 most famous landmarks in the world, and we're just gonna look at them. Then we'll give it a rating. Okay. All right. Cambodia, Angkor Wat. Kind of cool. What would you rate it? Thumbs up. Opera House. I already put it in great. Okay. Eiffel Tower, Paris. Like I said, overrated. Yikes. Overrated. Taj Mahal. It's pretty fire. Either good or great. Okay? A. Machu Picchu. Again, kind of beat. Machu Picchu really is a story of the surrounding carrying the monument. I'm sorry, but it's true. If you put Machu Picchu in a parking lot, it's whack, dude. It's not. The surroundings are fire, but this picture would be good without Machu Picchu, and that's. So I'm putting that in C tier. Great Wall of China. It's got great in the name. I've already given it great tier. I think it's really cool. Probably the least. I haven't visited it. I want to visit it. But my expectation is that it's not going to be one of the ones that's like super cool in person. Photos of this are probably going to do more of it justice than real life. Mount Rushmore. I think Mount Rushmore is cool because it's very, very unique. But also because the founding fathers hid a gigantic treasure trove of gold inside. That's why I think Mount Rushmore is pretty cool. I also like that you can use the Mount Rushmore meme format to pick 4 great things for anything. Mont Saint Michel. I've been here. This place is fucking beautiful. I hate to give French credit here, but this is actually the Eiffel Tower killer. I'll say it. I will say it. If you want the greatest monument in France, you don't go to fucking Eiffel Tower, you go here. This place is beautiful. Especially if you go like in the morning and there's like fog off this lake and you're like, it feels very epic. Yeah, it's really cool. Just go to Disneyland. This is an IRL real castle. It's very cool. The Acropolis. More like the Acropolis. F tier. Moving on. The Brandenburg Gate. It's got my name in it, Brandon. And it was nice of Germany to make this monument to me. They misspelled my name, which I don't forgive them for. But it was nice. So I'll say S tier. Yeah, that was really cool. Nazi Gate? No, this is way before that. Way before that. So, wrong. Easter Island. Mid. Mid C. C tier. Just like if an individual one is not that cool, making 100 of them in a row doesn't make it like, do you know what I'm saying? There's not many Easter eggs. Like I hunted on the whole island. I couldn't find a single Easter egg. F tier. Golden Gate Bridge, San Francisco. This is a monument? Really? Bro, you ever been on this bridge in traffic? You'll hate it. You got a fucking 9 a.m. meeting and you're trying to cross the bridge? Nah, just a bridge, bro. This bridge only exists for Godzilla to break. And that's not enough for a monument to me. It's a yeah. Take a bridge, paint it red. Suddenly, it's a fucking monument. No thanks, bro. No thanks. No. Neuschwanstein Castle. I've also been here, but I was very young. And I was bored, and I wanted to play my Nintendo DS. Actually, it's probably Game Boy Advance at the time. I wanted to play my GBA. I wasn't having fun. My parents dragged me to it. F tier, dude. I was clearly not enjoying it. Leaning Tower of Pisa. Oh wow, you won a fucking gold star because you built it badly? F tier. I'm sorry. It's not special because it's poorly made. Make it taller, make it better, and make it not lean, and all of a sudden you had a real fucking tower on your hands. Great Pyramid of Giza got great in the name. It was really cool in The Mummy, a documentary made by American filmmakers about the actual history of Egypt. Please watch it. It's actually important in these days for us to understand other cultures. And if you're not watching Brendan Fraser's The Mummy, where it really goes into like how Egyptian people think and feel, then you're not doing your part as a citizen. So I will Mummy night. Damn, I would actually love to watch The Mummy with chat. Do you guys think The Mummy is old enough to get away with it like we did for X-Men? Mummy is like one of the all-time great action movies, like fun family action movies. I'll consider it. I gotta see. Also, I gotta figure out which company it's from, because some of them are way more scanny on Twitch. Victoria Falls, bro. You cannot claim a natural landmark as a monument, bro. That's F. What do you didn't make that? You know, the real monument is the beautiful stars above us. No, what the fuck? You don't. That's not how it works. You had to build it. Buckingham Palace. For no, London. I'm sorry, but for no, that's an F tier, dude. That's a fucking bad. It's a bad monument. The only reason it's even remotely cool is the funny big hat guards that don't move. That's it. If you took those out, no one gives two shits about Buckingham Palace. Fartingham fartless, dude. And that's on God. Skip. Basilica de la Sagrada Familia. I haven't really heard of this, but damn, it looks like where the Geonosians live in Star Wars Attack of the Clones. I'm going to piss off every country and culture on Earth. I will give it a B because it is kind of based. B for based. Christ the Redeemer. I think it's cool that we all universally agree that Christ is real and he does watch over us. And that's why this goes in above S tier. It goes in the holy tier. Praise. Blue Mosque, Istanbul. Blue Mosque, Istanbul. So, mosque, regular mosque, not on the list. But you paint it blue, and all of a sudden it's... This thing just it goes to the top. It's also not even that blue. I guess the interior is the blue hues. Let me check the interior and I will decide. Blue Mosque. We're going to go into a review. We're going to reviewing the tape. Holy shit. Holy shit. S tier? That's fucking awesome. Wow. I've never been... Don't judge a mosque by its exterior, as the old saying goes. That's awesome. That's a really fucking cool interior. And plus, I think if I took a photo there from my Instagram, it would bring out my eyes. So, photo trip incoming. Too much blue IGN. All right. I give it an S. The Coliseum obviously is S tier. And not just because I'm wearing a Roman coin around my neck. And I read fucking Marcus Aurelius for fun. You know what I'm saying? It's because I actually really... Big Rome paid me off, yeah. The Grand Palace in Bangkok. I would normally give this a C, but Bangkok makes me think of Hitman, which makes me think of how much I love the game Hitman. Probably knock it up a point. I'm sure this isn't one of those things where the interior is probably fucking crazy. Foreigners have to pay a fee to visit it? Yeah, you get B tier tops, dude. Well, I gotta pay? I'm a tourist. Why don't... Statue of Liberty. I've already given an S tier for the ultimate marketing symbol. Plus, it was in the movie X-Men that we just watched. Petra, S tier. I think this is one of the coolest ones. I think it's so fucking crazy how they did this. 400 BC, and they're just fucking carving this shit out of it. Man, what a job. S tier. Ha Long Bay. Again, we're not counting bays or inlets or waterfalls or any natural. You have to build something. That's an F. Stonehenge, dude. England. How do you try to slip this one in, bro? How do you try to slip this one in? It's just rocks. And it's not, it's like the most poorly built. No, dude, this is an F. This is an F. When was this built? I feel like I think they're heavy or something. Can you imagine? Around the same time. It's actually not around the same time. It's many thousands of years before. But like, come on, dude. Just look at the difference. You know what I'm saying? Look at the difference. They ruin people's perception of hinges. It's also just not good for telling time. It's just not. It's an L. It's an L. The blue domes. Is this like a monument or just like a swaggy Instagram background? It's not. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Like it's very beautiful. Everyone agrees. It's like one of the most beautiful areas. I would love to visit the Greek islands. I think it would be the coolest vacation. But I don't know that it's quite monument worthy. I don't put it in a monument tier. Mount Fuji doesn't count. Gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't count. Patola Palace in Tibet. Okay, this photo's way better. This actually looks pretty swag. The highest palace in the world. I'm talking about this. You and me getting high at Patola Palace? That shit would be fucking yes. I'll put in A tier. It seems kind of swag. I feel like that's like a dream blunt rotation. Is you and the Dalai Lama. A horseshoe of Zen. Kicking your feet off the edge of the Patola Palace. I think that'd be fucking... That's awesome. Lake Louise, Canada, we also don't count this, even though it's like a very beautiful lake. You didn't build it. The Grand Canyon, we count this because America built it. S tier. Well done, USA. Well done. Well constructed. Well constructed. Well dug. Very good job. S plus tier, actually. The Salt Flats. Sorry, does not count. Does not count. And also, even if it did counted, bad. Even if we did count these, I would also put this low. It is just salty and flat. That's it? That's it? Bro, you guys ever think like the world is an L? We don't have enough cool shit. Do you guys ever think like there's way more cool shit in Fortnite and TikTok and Roblox than there is in real life, and like traveling's a waste of time because all the real shit is at home? Digitally makes you think. Really makes you think. Really makes you think. Powerful, powerful stuff. You've been saying this to people around you. Your parents try to take you on trips, and you tell them, low key, it pisses me off. There isn't even that much cooler stuff in video games than real life. Atrioc. Walk me through your feelings here. It low key pisses you off that there isn't even that much cooler stuff in video games than in real life. What is that? What does that mean? You start playing a game and you're like, this isn't even cooler than the Coliseum, and you get pissed off? Give me the thought process. There is cool stuff in games and there's cool stuff in real life. What? Bro's never been to Tilted Towers. Bro, yeah, go to Tilted. You'll see there is cool shit in video games. A lot of the cool shit in games is based off real life, though. Bro, seriously, what are you fucking talking about? Like, there's plenty of cool shit in video games that's not in real life. Like, fucking Halo. That giant fucking ring is not in real life. There's planets, there's moons, there's spaceships, there's fucking monsters, there's... Planets and moons? Yeah, but different than the ones in real life. Sex is in video games, but not in real life. So true. So true. It was crazy how video game developers invented the concept of sex. I remember playing Halo for the first time and thinking, I mean, this isn't Niagara Falls. I can't. Yeah, exactly. That's what your argument sounds like to me. It's like, what? You're playing video games, many of which are set in fantasy or sci-fi worlds that don't exist, and you're like, this isn't even like that much cooler than Mount Rushmore. What a strange thing to get angry. I just don't get. I don't. What is this?
Excuse me.
Some kind of fucking skibbity Biden. I'm not. I mean, you're telling me that you wouldn't rather do this than go to the real Eiffel Tower? Like, this is better. Think of how much better the digital world has you fucking crushed. There's just no reason to travel. That's like 2 monuments in one. It's like really 3 because you get to see Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg's legless, inhuman fucking face. All right? Is this a photo or CGI? That's a real photo, my friend. Why is this button so off center? No, I don't think it is. Hey, babe.
Do you want a chicken salad sandwich?
No, I'm good, thank you. Maricon. Motherfuck. Thanks, babe.
So you say.
All right, fuck. I just wanted to check out those. I wanted to rate every monument in a fair and impartial, unbiased way, and I did that. And now everyone respects that I've done the work. I've put in the work, and now I want to watch a YouTube video. So we're gonna do a little Get Smarter Saturdays. If you guys have a suggestion for a YouTube video, the rules are simple. It has to be not too long. It has to be not too boring. And at the end of it, we have to learn something. If you've got anything, please drop it in chat, and then we're gonna watch it together and raise our IQ, thousands of points. We're gonna raise our IQ, thousands of points. Hollow Knight boss tier list. A true masterpiece. A true masterpiece video. You really can't help but marvel at it and how he really changed the YouTube game forever. The guy who successfully tricked the Shark Tank. Interesting. Gabby Bell's pretty great. I could watch TikTok Shop is a Nightmare. Evil kings that did evil things in history. Bro, so many people are they're jumping on this format of like stick figure animation on history. It just prints money. So they're like, there's a bunch of channels popping up. Yeah, like Salmonella. Yeah, exactly. Grippy from J. Cole. Classic. Duck Bricks, who won Lego Masters. The American state you've never heard of? I can't imagine there's an American state I haven't heard of. That seems unlikely. Who linked me this fucking... Who killed masculinity in video games? Who the fuck's YouTube algo is so cooked? That's insane. That is insane. I made ice skates from real ice. That's funny. I'm looking for something. Something unreal, dude. Something that's... Oh, you know what? If you want a fun video to watch on your own, just while you're vibing, put on either monitor or whatever. I was working today and I watched a video of a guy. Let me see if I can credit the guy. Let me just pull it up real quick. It was this guy.
Lightsabers.
It was... He only had 8K subscribers, so I'm going to just shout him out. This guy. Shenanaloon. He beat the whole game, Jedi Survivor, on the hardest difficulty without a lightsaber. And it's actually unreal.
He's my only hope. This gives her...
Like, at one point, he has to fucking drag... He drags this stormtrooper. Let me see if I can show you.
most of my health, grabbing him, and so down. maneuver the stormtrooper back up here again, and by then I'm closer to being a Force Ghost than a Force Master. Nothing a little meditation and facial acupuncture can't fix. Plus, an improvement to my health pool before racing back to fling some troopers to their deaths and grab their shitty friend.
Or he grabs him?
Unfortunately, I lost.
So he grabs him, pulls him all the way into the boss fight, and then runs around while he shoots wildly, and then gets his bullets to kill the boss. Like, it's crazy. He has to solve so many problems in this run. He's got a lightsaber? No, he's got it, but he doesn't use it. He doesn't use it the whole time. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed watching it. Your unemployed friend on a Wednesday? No, for real. It takes him hours. It takes him a long time. I was impressed. So shout out to him. 8K subscribers. He's fun. What's this?
Does anyone remember?
No, it's too long. I'm looking for something. Come on, chat. We're looking for something good. We're looking for something. Marketing movies seems awful now. Interesting.
Captain Midnight.
Interesting.
So there's a video that haunts me, and it shouldn't. It's totally harmless. People in the TikTok comments seem to even like it, but it just bothers me. It was uploaded by Disney Studios in June of 2023, and the description promises viewers that they will be snacking around the world with Harrison Ford. Pretzel emoji, globe emoji. What this means in actuality is Harrison Ford eating some very basic cookies and pretzels, all of which you could buy from any American grocery store, and some tea, which he notes is already cold. Ford doesn't look as miserable as you might expect from him. He mostly just takes a bite and says, "Good." And hey, I'm happy he enjoyed them. But as I was sitting there watching this, by all means,
I wonder why this movie flopped. I can't tell. I feel like his heart was really in it. New puzzle and a new
mildly successful bit of online marketing, I couldn't help but feel a little sad that this is what selling a movie to people looks like now, because so little of it has anything to do with getting people excited about the film itself. So that's what I want to talk about this week. Not what movie trailers are like these days, I feel like there's plenty of videos covering that already, but the contemporary movie studio promotional tour. For the last 10 years or so, I feel like they've just become more and more difficult to do in an engaging and interesting fashion. And in a few ways, they've boxed themselves into these gimmicks that I'm not sure do much to help the movie. But I also want to talk about where I see some hope. Before I do, if you enjoyed this video or others I've made, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe and a click on that bell notification so I can actually reach you again.
I mean, I gotta imagine that it's like, there's this era of movie stars, and we're getting some new movie stars, but not nearly as many. We're still relying on the same crop of movie stars from pre-social media. And they're just getting older and older, and they don't use social media. And so it's like trying to adapt them to the internet and promotion, and they don't do it. And so it's always going to be a little cringe because they're not natives. And it's not like it's going to be much better when we have a bunch of new social media savvy movie stars like fucking Jake Paul in a film. But at least they won't do stuff like this. Yeah, The Rock. That's why The Rock and Kevin Hart are so valuable to studios, because they can promote it on social media and they don't have to do this kind of thing. Ryan Reynolds is another example. Ryan Reynolds, Kevin Hart, The Rock. Studios are tripping over themselves to get them because they can go viral on social media without trying to do this.
But now, let's get into it. To get to where all this came from, we have to talk about how we got here. Promoting movies used to be a lot more straightforward. Never cheap, but definitely a lot more predictable. When more people were watching linear TV or listening to the radio, way more people saw or heard movie ads. When more people were watching network TV shows or TV entertainment news, it was, again, much easier to spread the word. Pretty straightforward. But the way things have changed has had big implications for what's expected from movie stars. Read any industry-focused movie news about marketing now, and you're bound to run into plenty of mentions of the star's social media presence. Like how the Mario movie was able to capitalize on the massive combined follower count of Jack Black, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Chris Pratt, despite most things that the biggest stars post being, let's be honest, fairly boring and flavorless. These accounts have just become so central.
I fucking love when The Rock posts about eating pancakes because it makes me feel like I could be as strong as him because I also eat pancakes. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not boring. When he's like, hey, it's my cheat day, and then he eats pancake. I'm like, dude, I'm having a cheat day right now. I'm eating Sour Patch Kids and and so like we're the same, and like I can be as strong as you pretty soon. Like it's not over for me.
To how movie studios think about marketing campaigns. And that's a really big change from how movie stardom worked in the past, with even a talk show appearance from someone like Jack Nicholson being kind of a big deal due to its relative rarity. Access to someone like him mostly came through the movies. Now, obviously, he had a strong persona, but I think the fact that most of your exposure to him came purely from the films themselves, and maybe Jack waving to the camera on televised Lakers games, made it easier for people to kind of project whatever they wanted to onto him a bit more. Now, these stars can be in your face all day if you want them to be. A lot like influencers. And that's fine and can be good for promotion, but it significantly cuts down on any mystique that movie stardom once held. And I think that makes things harder for young stars. They've been put on a more level...
Bro, can I say something? I
think that makes things harder for young stars. They've been put on a...
Why don't I like this guy? I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't have any reason to it. I don't know why I don't like him. It's so funny. I remember there was this thing when Anne Hathaway was more of a big deal. I mean, Anne Hathaway's still a superstar, but like when Anne Hathaway was coming up, women just didn't like her. And it was like this weird thing. And I was like, why? Why are you guys being so weird about it? Why do they like it? Why do they like Anne Hathaway? But like, I don't like this guy. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. He's obviously very handsome, but I don't think that's it. Because like Brad Pitt is handsome. You know, all these guys have been, all these actors are handsome. But why? Michael B. Jordan is handsome. I have nothing. Why do I not like this guy? It's because he played the asshole in Top Gun Maverick. You think I'm just projecting his character on him? I don't like him because he wasn't nice to Tom Cruise. Okay? He didn't believe in him to fly the plane. I don't know why I don't like him. I'm sure he's fine. In fact, I actually saw him in another movie. I saw him in the movie Hitman. Because I watch every movie about a hitman. And I thought he was good in it. Like, it wasn't like a... it didn't blow me away or anything, but... I guess my honest... And this isn't even true, bro. But it just feels like... it feels like they're trying to make him happen. I feel like I'm being forced to know who he is. You know what I'm saying? It feels like it's against my will. It feels like it's an industry plant type thing. I don't think that's even true. It just feels like it to me. He's the Squeaks of movies. Yeah, exactly. And Squeaks looks like him. I think him and Squeaks have the same jawline, hairline. They're both very handsome men. This is Glenn Powell. Yeah, it's dark. Is it Glenn Powell? Yeah, Glenn Powell.
More level playing field with just any other influencer, except they're being asked to open a $150 million movie, not just get clicks. I'm not exactly shedding a tear for the contemporary movie star, but there are unique challenges that I just think didn't used to exist. But let's talk about the actual promotional content as well. As traditional media advertising has become less effective, we've seen, for the past 15 years or so, the BuzzFeedification of movie marketing. Now, I know BuzzFeed is a shadow of what it used to be, but it's hard to overstate how their approach to capital C content generation shaped what the internet has become. Couple that with Jimmy Fallon turning The Tonight Show into a never-ending parade of karaoke and beer pong, and you have the 2014-ish ecosystem that we're still kind of living in the dregs of. Now, to be fair, it's not like the era before it was perfect. Though I have a lot of appreciation for Conan and Craig Ferguson, I think the highly scripted talk show interviews of the 2000s and early 2010s were becoming really dull. I mean, when you compare a random 2011 Jay Leno actor interview with the kind of interviews that were done by...
I mean, what it is now is just fucking Hot Ones. Every actor promoting something has to go on fucking Hot Ones and then eat the wings, and which is now also getting old. I got nothing respect for Hot Ones. They did a cool thing, but like, I can only see the same conceit 14 times, and then I need something new. Those Wired YouTube videos, those two. I think what they should do is they should dangle the movie stars over a pit of snakes by their legs and then ask them questions as they're slowly lowered into the snakes. And it's called The Snake Pit. What are these stars like? Let's find out this week on The Snake Pit. I think they should all be made Celebrity Fear Factor. No, it's not. It's only the snakes. We just do the snake thing every time. And every time they answer a question, they get lower into the snakes. They're never going to get hurt, but they get more scared, you know?
One of my favorite talk show hosts ever, Dick Cavett, who was having conversations with actors, athletes, and public intellectuals in the 70s. I really think a well-produced podcast with A-tier guests, probably a closer comparison than what Jay was doing. So there was a lot of room to change things, and Fallon's children's games and hijinks approach really struck a chord, proving to be ultra-shareable online. And that approach has remained very important to movie promotion. Let's go back to the Mario film for a second, because I think that demonstrates what a hit looks like in this form of marketing. Remember when Fallon, The Roots, the cast of the movie, and Shigeru Miyamoto all sang Mario music? That video was huge, and pretty smartly positioned, as it'll reign supreme near the top of searches for Mario music or Mario theme until the end of time. And I think it also tells us a lot about how important nostalgia and familiarity are when it comes to generating that kind of virality. Which is yet another sad reason why established brands will always be preferred by studios to originals. On the flip side of that though, I think those brands being so well established can make the actual press tour interviews about the movie incredibly brain-numbingly boring. Between the dangers of spoilers, being afraid to piss off fans with an offhanded remark, or show just how much less an actor knows about a movie series that they're in than the fans watching do. And that's not even getting into the potential online culture war backlash stuff that actors often find themselves in thanks to these interviews. You add all of that together, and the movie press tour of 2024 just seems filled with landmines. Which leads us all the way back around to a Disney marketing intern getting sent to CVS to buy Harrison Ford an authentic New York black and white cookie. Because this is the kind of low stakes content that could catch fire and is just a lot less risky to make. No one is going to get mad at the man for saying he enjoys a Berlin wafer. You could ask Ford to reflect in an earnest way on Indiana Jones as a character, and that might be interesting. But any questions about Dial of Destiny specifically, we're probably going to have boring answers, because it's a sales pitch more than a real response. Which I think leads to a lot...
Yeah, also, he could say something like, I don't really know. Like, I don't know the fucking lore. If you ask Harrison Ford about fucking the history of Indiana Jones, he might just tell you, I don't give a shit. and then the interview's bad, and then it hurts the movie. So like he has to just do this.
A lot of the BuzzFeed-like gimmicks that have popped up over the years. Interviews with puppies, lots and lots of twists on eating snacks, and having the stars insult each other. I'm not saying that all of these are bad, but they often feel like ways of getting around not having an interesting way to talk about the movie they're promoting and still get clicks. I should point out though that amidst all the gimmicks and different formats for promoting stuff online, I think some gems really have popped up. There's plenty of podcasts I enjoy. I can't get enough of those GQ videos where actors and directors break down their most iconic movies. That's really a format that really only works for the super well established, so it's not very helpful for promoting young talent, but I love how they get around the draconian rules of big studio press tour talking points by asking people to reflect on movies from 10, 20, 30 years ago instead, where you're a lot more likely to get genuine answers from them, rather than just focusing on what they're promoting now. Then there's Hot Ones, maybe the single biggest success to come out of the endless hunt for new gimmick interviews. It's a little strange that we're at this point where people will endure crying and eating da bomb in front of millions of people to promote a project, but I'm not complaining.
Hot Ones.
I have nothing against puppies running around while actors talk about their movie, but the edge that Hot Ones will always have over most gimmick interview formats is the way it takes the person outside their comfort zone, drops their guard a little bit, and generates way more authentic reactions, which are always paired with Sean Evans' really wide-ranging topics and questions. It just creates this huge contrast between a celebrity talking on the show versus a celebrity giving their 5th interview today with the movie poster in the background. And I think viewers can clearly tell the difference.
Dude, Ben Affleck's the GOAT of movie interviews. I love seeing Ben Affleck just let the soul leave his eyes every time. Just look fucking miserable to be there. It's great. I think it's fucking awesome. Totally disassociating 1,000-yard stare. Just fucking suffering through it.
Movie poster in the background. And I think viewers can clearly tell the difference. It's taking the same mindset that gave us the Harrison Ford cookies video, but actually using it to an interesting end, to make the content of the interview itself actually better. And I really like that. I'd like to see more interview shows figure out kind of ways to do that. Maybe even ones that don't involve poor Will Smith getting hot sauce in his eyes. In the end, it's a little baffling to take a step back and realize how much more bizarre stuff is expected from stars now than in the past on a lot of these press tours. It's not just them giving a magazine interview and then maybe talking to an LA radio host anymore. It's a never-ending race to see who can get them to do the most novel thing. And that's fine, but I think the real issue here is that interesting discussion of the actual movie can't really happen until years after the fact. And I understand why, but I have to wonder if there's a better way to go about doing these press tours that isn't this. That isn't answering the same few questions over and over again and tiptoeing around any spoilers or anything that would cause mild controversy. Like, would stars being brutally honest about what they thought of their movies generate more attention to it? Well, Madam Web kind of says yes, but that didn't help the box office too much.
It didn't work.
If you have any ideas for what you want to see change on these promo tours,
They obviously can't be brutally honest and say the movie fucking sucked. It'll make them more likable, but it won't help the movie. Dakota Johnson basically did, yeah, but the movie didn't do well. It flopped. Like, it helped her. It was good for her personal brand. She doesn't come out of it looking worse because she was honest. So it's, like, lovable. But it fucks over the movie.
I'd definitely like to hear them. I'd also really love if you check out the first issue of my sci-fi and
Okay, check it out.
Pirates adventure comic, Binary Sea.
Binary Sea, check it out. Yeah, that was a classic YouTube essay. You know, kind of dancing around a problem. It's interesting. No solution. Done. Move on. Lots of clips. Generally, who watches those interviews? Yeah, I do think it's funny. Like, you only see them through their clips elsewhere. Nobody actually watches. It's always on like some fucking, Entertainment Canada 24. It's like, it's just some local media news website. What is okay? Let's see. I'm refreshing new videos. I'm refreshing. We're getting new stuff. We need to colonize the moon. Okay. What happened to the world wonders? Interesting. The story of Faker 3.0. Untouchable, unbreakable, unkillable. Faker and his team got washed yesterday. I don't know about Faker 3.0, untouchable, unbreakable, unkillable. T1 is doing really bad right now. Of course they're going to bounce back. I believe it, as I always have, but they are in a classic slump. Why nobody wants to host the Olympics? That's relevant to what we've been talking about and relevant to the Olympics coming up. This could be fire, and it's short. We're going to try it out.
Down the back stretch. It's September 2017, and members of the International Olympic Committee are gathered to pick the city that will host the 2024 Olympic Games. The biggest decision this group makes. They've put representatives from the two competing cities on stage for their announcement.
With the unanimous decision we took,
but everyone here already knows who won.
Please raise your hand.
Every 4 years, more than 5 million people attend the Olympics, and over 3 billion watch it on TV. It's a once-in-a-generation opportunity for one city to show off, and the competition has typically been fierce. 12 cities apply.
Hey, LA didn't win for 24, but I believe we have it for 28. Do you guys all want to stay at my place and come watch the Olympics in 28? We'll just get a big Wingstop order. We'll all just fucking eat some lemon pepper wings. Should be swag. Very excited.
Applied to host the 2004 Games before the IOC picked Athens, Greece. 10 applied for 2008, won by Beijing, China. But since then, interest has been waning. 9 cities applied for 2012, then 7, then 5, and for 2024, only 2 were left when it was time for a vote.
I didn't know
that. So the IOC did something it's never done before.
Paris 24, Los Angeles 28.
IOC was so concerned that nobody would bid to host the games in 2028 that it simultaneously awarded the games 2024 to Paris and 2028 to Los Angeles.
LA's getting cold feet. LA's like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Hey, times are different, bro. By 28, we don't have the budget. Don't lock us in. You're locking us in for 4 years from now?
Used to be strong demand to host. Now there isn't.
The Olympics are the most prestigious sports event in the world. Why doesn't anyone want to host it anymore?
The host with the most problems.
So the Olympics have actually had this problem before. They originally came up with this idea of rotating the games around to different cities back in 1896 because they had to.
We didn't have international jet travel and we didn't have international telecommunications.
Andrew Zimbalist wrote a book about the economics of hosting sports mega events like the Olympics.
So it was necessary in order to spread the games internationally and get the whole world to participate and enjoy them.
As the games grew, the IOC kept this tradition, eventually developing a competition where cities would submit bids and it would vote on a winner. But when it opened bidding for the 1984 games, not a single city wanted to host because the last few hadn't gone very well. Local political protests had turned violent during the 1968 games in Mexico City, and terrorists killed 11 Israeli athletes at the 72 Munich games.
Invade the Olympic Village, taking 9 Israeli athletes hostage and killing 2 others in their room.
Both incidents showed cities that hosting could be politically risky, or even deadly. When construction problems and corruption led Montreal to spend more than 13 times their budget, they began to view it as financially risky too. So in the late 70s, the IOC was barreling towards disaster until one city offered to save them.
Let's go, LA!
Under one condition: Los Angeles did not want to spend a lot of money.
We're cheap.
To do that, it offered to use venues it already had instead of built new ones. The LA Coliseum, where the...
Yeah, I forgot to mention, they asked me about this. We're hosting the 2028 Olympics in my backyard. I forgot to mention this. Yeah, because we need to save on space, they said. And so I'll have the grill fired up. And I've got like a little track area that I sort of carved out. I'm trying to get a hoop. So we can do men's basketball. What about bathrooms? There'll be a bucket. Sorry, I like to keep my bathroom clean and personal, so there'll be a bucket available.
The USC football team played, the Forum, where the Lakers played, UCLA's gymnasium and tennis center, and the athletes could just stay in the college dorm rooms. Since the IOC didn't have a choice, it said yes, and was soon glad it did.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
The '84 LA Games were a success in almost every way, but especially financially. It only cost around one.
Is '84 the peak of America's cultural influence? Like other countries thinking America is swag? I think it is. I think 84 to maybe late 80s is like everyone immigrating to America, Hollywood's peak influence, like peak gap over other cinema, everyone watching American films. Michael Jackson, biggest star in the world. That or after Soviet Union fell? I think it's before. I think 84 would be... not saying the 90s were much different. 90s is still... But if it had to peak, you know? And then after 9/11, I think it starts to really shift. Oh, maybe I have the settings wrong. Is there 1080p? Oh, we'll go. Sorry, my bad.
$1 billion in 2015 dollars. And LA even made a profit. This should have become the model for future Olympic host cities, but instead, it sparked the problem that is plaguing the Olympics today.
It's interesting how many of these sports and politics stories really boil down to economics. If you recall, the Premier League story is a story about a warped economic system.
Love this video.
The NFL.
Is this the same channel? Search Party? God, good job. I love this video. This is a good video.
Was so successful because it created a new economic model for sports leagues. If you haven't seen those videos yet, give them a watch. If you haven't subscribed to Search Party, now's your chance. We publish every 2 weeks this summer, so I've been working from all over the place. I've been writing scripts on trains. I've been animating on airplanes. I'm headed out this afternoon on a really exciting reporting trip, but I'm going to be in a hotel the whole time. That's why I'm really excited to work with Surfshark. Surfshark's a VPN that's going to keep me safe on all those closed public Wi-Fis. Surfshark is an app and browser that encrypts my activity online while blocking ads and malware. Surfshark also allows me to virtually place myself anywhere in the world in order to unblock content that I couldn't
you can
access
virtually
otherwise.
go to
That means Surfshark
Big Ben.
lets search party cover stories in almost any country on earth. So here's the deal. Use the coupon code SEARCHPARTY at surfshark.deals/searchparty and get 4 months extra. There's also no risk. They have a 30-day...
You know what I like about this is they have that bar on the bottom so you know how long the ad is. We need to add that. Editors quack, we need to add that.
money back guarantee. Again, Surfshark is how I keep myself safe online. It's the best way for you to do the same. It's also the best way to support Search Party. So thanks again to Surfshark for supporting our work. Now I'll take you back to the episode.
LA did such a good job hosting the 1984 Olympics that it re-inspired cities to want to host again. For the 1992 games, 6 cities submitted bids, then 6 again for 96, 8 for 2000, then a whopping 11 for 2004. As more cities competed, the IOC regained leverage over them again. But instead of sticking to the LA model, it began demanding more. Between 1992 and 2020, the IOC added dozens of new sports to the games. This required more venues and housing for more athletes, which host cities were primarily responsible for paying for. As the competition intensified, cities felt increasing pressure to make their bids more attractive. The most effective way to do that was to build new venues. Sydney built 15 new venues plus housing for 10,000 athletes. Athens built 22 new venues, and Beijing built 12. All of this construction made hosting the games really, really expensive. This chart shows how the cost of the games skyrocketed over the last 30 years, reaching between $10 and $25 billion in the last decade.
I want to add one big caveat to this chart, though. It only includes sports-related costs to the games. It doesn't include things like new public transportation or development projects that most all these cities spent money on for the Olympics. If we include some of those costs, these bars are actually way higher. So, for example, some estimate that Beijing spent more like $45 billion for their 2008 Summer Games. Russia spent more like $51 in 2014, and Tokyo's bill is more like $35 billion. No matter what number you use, though.
Okay, here's a geopolitical strategy. Biden, write this down. We convince everyone to submit again, but we always let China win. So China hosts every Olympics, winter and summer, until it bankrupts them. Okay? $45 billion, a lot of money. China went all out. We just keep doing it, and suddenly they're overspending. Can't they just reuse the venues? No, it has to be a different city. It can't be Beijing again. It's got to be Shenzhen or something, dude. We've got... They need to have an Olympic stadium in every city.
All of these cities went way over their initial budget, which the bidding process incentivizes them to keep artificially low.
What they have to do is make initial statements about the intentions and the plans that are very reduced. Once the politicians say, yeah, okay, we'll go along with this, then they start adding the bells and whistles. And those can be very, very substantial.
The revenue cities generate from ticket sales, TV contracts, and sponsorships only cover a fraction of these costs, meaning these governments and really their taxpayers are on the hook for the rest.
So it doesn't look like a good economic deal.
But host cities have known for decades that they'll likely lose money in the short term. Instead, many have been told that hosting the Olympics is an investment that will pay off in the future.
Okay, so this is the IOC's webpage where they list the benefits of hosting the games. And they use this word legacy a lot. And by legacy, they mean things that will continue to benefit your city long after the Olympics are over.
Take sports facilities. Beijing justified spending around $460 million on this new 90,000-seat stadium by planning for a local pro soccer team to use it after the Olympics. London did the same when it built this stadium.
Damn.
At first, seems like a good idea. Other legacy projects are meant to benefit even more people. Russia spent $8.7 billion on a new rail and highway link into Sochi for its Winter Games. And Rio de Janeiro spent $4 billion on a new subway line connecting a beach community to its Olympic Center. The most commonly touted legacy benefit is that hosting an Olympics is a great way to kickstart your city's growth.
What historically came out of the public relations with regard to the Olympics was that this was the most wonderful thing that could ever happen to a city. It puts your city on the world map, so it will increase tourism, it will increase commerce, it will increase foreign investment.
And that's what Paris and Los Angeles need, to be put on the world map. I never heard of these fucking rinky-dink ass cities, dude. What they need is a little bit of public perception. They need to gain a little fame.
And that story turns out not to be true.
Let's start with tourism. A 2004 study found that after experiencing a bump in tourism leading up to their respective games, Atlanta, Sydney, and Seoul all saw it fall afterwards. In his book, Andrew cites a 1996 study on 3 Olympic Winter Games that found that the long-term impact on tourism was between non-existent and very modest, and a 2010 study that found little evidence of any benefit to tourism of hosting an Olympic Games, and considerable evidence of damage. In other words, being on TV can backfire.
If the weather is particularly too warm, or if it's too cold, if there are security incidents, if there are bad stories about the traffic, that some cities are able to maybe help their image, but other cities are hurting their image.
Many legacy infrastructure.
Wait, you mean there is such a thing as bad publicity? What? Some chatters will tell me that's not true. Has anyone ever thought of visiting a place the Olympics? LA is cooked on traffic? Dude, we can't show traffic. LA 2020 Olympics, we have to ban all cameras from showing traffic. Because it's too bad for the city. Or we need to add more lanes. Yes. That's what we should do. We should spend $150 billion adding new lanes to everything. 16, 17 new lanes. We should have so many lanes that we just do the Olympics on the highways. Like the track and field should be built into the highway and you just run. You got to run the mile and the half mile and everything right there, right in the...
Infrastructure investments haven't paid off either. Russia's rail project is now considered an epic failure. And Andrew argues that while Rio's subway line benefits some residents, what the city really needed was a line serving the lower income neighborhoods inland. But that's not where the Olympics
But they're
were.
poor.
The typical case was that the IOC comes along and they say, we need these 30 venues. We want you to put them in ways so the transport...
Sorry, why would the government money go to help poor people? Doesn't... Right? Does anyone else hearing that? Doesn't it just sound wrong on your ear? It's like, we can tax them. We can take them. Why are we going to give it? If you give it to them, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. I'm sorry. It just was really weird. I'm sure they didn't mean it. It's probably misunderstood what they're saying, but like that really hit my ear wrong. It's like, no.
Transportation is facilitated and other conveniences are allowed. And so what the city would have to do is contort itself in order to accommodate the IOC.
Empty stadiums are a particularly visible sign of this mismatch. That Beijing Stadium had about 80,000 more seats than what the local soccer team could fill. So it backed out. Now the stadium sits most...
Yeah, I mean, that's so much pressure. Hey, we built one of the biggest stadiums in the world. Now we're going to give it to a local soccer team. Just go fill that every night. It's like, what? We got to fill this fucking monstrosity for our regular season games? That's crazy. You better be good. You guys better be generational. They should have put the Guangzhou Gophers.
mostly empty, costing the city some $10 million a year to maintain. This is
Taylor
what's called
Swift
a
and
white
Faker,
elephant,
dude.
and there are now dozens of them across Olympic host cities. These are venues left over from the Athens 2004 Games, and ESPN found that 12 out of 27 venues in Rio de Janeiro had not held an event a year after it hosted the Olympics. For many residents, white elephants are evidence that hosting the Games is a waste of money.
The idea that had been out there forever and ever, this is wonderful news for the city, they get to do this. No, more often than not, it's going to be the opposite.
By 2015, city residents were ready to do something about it. The IOC had 6 cities bidding for the 2024 Games, until protests forced Boston and Hamburg to drop out. A new mayor in Rome fulfilled a promise to shut down its bid. Then more than 260,000 people signed a petition that led Budapest to drop out as well. It left the IOC with just 2 bidders, and once again, little leverage. The IOC has since passed reforms that it says reduce the cost of hosting, largely by requiring hosts to use existing and temporary venues, like LA did back in 1984, and allowing them to partner with other cities.
Bro,
As of now,
using the
Paris
exact
doesn't
same
look like it will
venues.
blow its budget, and LA's organizing committee is saying that the city can again pull off an on-budget Olympics. But the question is, if they do, could it spark another bidding war?
I don't know if we'll go into a big cycle like we did after the '84 games. I do think it's possible that there'll be a small turn. It'll appear less undesirable than it has.
The IOC has also stopped taking bids and instead negotiates with cities privately. It picked Milan and Cortina, Italy, over Stockholm for the 2026 Winter Games, and it gave Brisbane, Australia, the 2032 Summer Games. But some are arguing for a more permanent solution.
I think it's perfectly plausible to think about building the Olympic Shangri-La with its 35 or 40 venues for the Summer Games, smaller.
Someone said that's why the French are using the river. They don't want to build an Olympic pool, dude. They're going to fucking swim in the shit river. LA River can, yeah, we're gonna swim in the LA River for for the Summer Games. Yep, we'll swim in the LA River, the cleanest river on earth, and then I think for Brisbane, we just need to make sure that Bluey makes an appearance. If they can somehow tie Bluey to the games in 2032, by then all of the athletes who grew up with Bluey will Bluey season 15. Yeah, exactly.
Number for the Winter Games. In one place.
Some believe Greece, the historical home of the Olympics, would make a good permanent host. Others have mentioned LA since it has so many venues and has done so well in the past. A permanent spot would eliminate white elephant projects, save cities from going into debt, and reduce the game's environmental footprint.
Everyone would be so fucking pissed if they made LA the permanent Olympic host forever. I feel like all the other countries would be mad. And then I think all the LA residents would be mad because it would lose its luster. I think it'd be a big L. I don't think it would work. I mean, Greece would make sense thematically, but I'm not super confident in their ability to do it. And then standstill traffic every 4 years. Bro, what? LA has standstill traffic at 1 a.m. sometimes. Sometimes you can get in your car at 1 a.m., go drive to tacos, and you'll get standstill traffic. I'm not kidding. You can you can get standstill traffic at the most random times.
But it could also reduce much of the excitement around each new Olympics.
It's not going to be easy to go to a model that makes environmental sense and economic sense. But I do think it makes sense to talk about it and put it out there as someplace that we should be heading.
Depending on how the next few Olympics go, it might be the only direction left.
All right, thanks everyone so much for watching episode 15. That's also our 1-year anniversary of Search Party. We have over 380,000 subscribers. We've published 15 videos, a ton of shorts. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do.
Check them out. Yeah, good video. I liked it. It's a lot of sports stuff. I'm looking at their other videos. It's very sports based. Nice Olympics counts too. What else can we learn from? The terrible world building of Harry Potter maps. I've already talked about this. I mean, it's very funny, but I don't know if there's something new. The Bread Tab Conspiracy. Dropout is fire. I do love Dropout. The Fast Approaching Death of Hot Ones. This is an interview or like Colin and Samir just fucking hating? 18 glitches you can do in StarCraft 2. It seems very specific. Your favorite streamer's Lamborghini is a sign of economic collapse. Now that's a fucking title. I kind of want to click it. You've hooked me in. Your favorite streamer's Lamborghini is a sign of economic collapse. It's 10 minutes. It's a low risk.
How much is this 2023 Lamborghini Urus? Starting at $349.
Yo, bro, I love your car. What do you do for a living?
Content creator?
And content, businesswoman, content creator.
What do you do for a living? Excuse me. I love your car. What do you do for a living? Social media.
Okay. Editing's a little...
This is a Lamborghini Urus. It is a vehicle loved by new millionaires all over the world. It's also a sign of the apocalypse. It's something that could only exist in the years preceding total economic collapse, and it's emblematic of the new money, the wealth inequality, and the get-rich-quick schemes that characterize our era. This glorified Toyota is a cruel joke that could only exist at the end of the world. And by the end of this video, you'll agree with me. You also probably won't be able to sleep at night, so stick around for some existential dread. And also, subscribe to Art Chad so I can get rich, buy an Urus, and drive it off a f***ing cliff.
I have $700,000 in cash right there. I got $700,000 in cash right there.
This is, he looks like every commentary YouTuber combined. It's very Zoomer pilled, but I think I can stomach it. I'm down. I'm interested.
Here's something really exciting for you. The US gained 2.5 million new millionaires in the year 2021. This is the most new millionaires in a single year in a single country this century. And it's part of this nice upward trend. Since 1979, the wages of the upper class have risen 41%. In the middle class, 6%. Lower classes' wages have dropped, but like, come on. This is a good thing. You know why this is a good thing? Because that means there's new fucking money, baby. New money is shinier than old money and could be used to buy shinier objects. The middle class never did anything good. They never did anything for culture. Take it all, throw it in the garbage, man. It's garbage. Who needs it? With all this new money, enter the Urus. The Urus is great because it offers the badging and the performance of a Lamborghini while looking like a fucking Kia Sorento. It is the preferred mode of transportation for streamers, dropshippers, and crypto millionaires. All wonderful people. Let's take a look at all the wonderful new millionaires.
I think this is a little, I don't know when this came out, but maybe a little out of date because the sales on all this stuff is starting to fall off a cliff. Like luxury watches, a lot of these status symbols, Hugo Boss, LVMH, it's all hitting a fucking
who choose to drive an Urus. Aiden Ross is a 22-year-old streamer, most known for truly enriching the cultural milieu with his thoughtful and deep content. Someone of this intellectual prowess deserves to drive a vehicle just as mighty.
And baby, the whole fucking family, I love it, Aiden.
What about Kai Cenat, the 21-year-old multimillionaire streamer based in New York, recently famous for starting a revolution? Over a PlayStation 5. Young UK rapper, Central C. This guy I follow on TikTok, who sounds miserable all the time.
I used to work a 9 to 5, and that's the only time I could make schmickles. It's not electric like my Tesla.
Who I think sells envelopes or something? It takes real talent to become a millionaire now. Gumption, moxie. You're probably thinking, why the Urus? Why have these thought leaders chosen the Lamborghini Urus as their steed. You see, the upper class is in a cultural crisis. We basically all do the same things, but just different, more expensive versions of them. I walk to McDonald's to get my fucking slop. The upper class gets Uber Eats 3 times a day. A Nike white blank t-shirt.
Watch your fucking tone. Watch your fucking tone, all right? Be fucking tread lightly, motherfucker. There's a difference. I don't have a Lamborghini Urus, okay? But maybe I order Chipotle every now and then or get a lettuce bun delivered. There is a difference, okay? They're not the same. It's a tier. It's a step ladder, and it's like an early rung. I have a Honda Fit, just to be clear.
At the Nike outlet, 20% off. Fits nice, I love it. The rich buy a Balmain or a Balenciaga one. Same thing, man. They're all made by the same children. You drive a Hyundai Tucson,
Facts.
the upper class drives a Lamborghini Urus. It's this lack of upper class culture coupled with the phenomenon of new money that has created a caste of people with more money than they can spend and nowhere meaningful to spend it. You just made $12 million drop shipping fucking rubber gloves. You're gonna drive an Audi, you fucking peasant? There's a secret about the Urus I haven't even fucking got to yet. Ready?
What's the secret?
It's a tax write-off. Because it is over 6,000 pounds, which makes it a work vehicle, which means you can write it off for your business. Kai Cenat was very, very happy about this one.
I don't know. It's a tax write-off. It is a truck that's more than 6,000 pounds. If you guys ever need to write off something with your company, I'm giving you a game.
I'm happy for him. That's a great little loophole. I'm shitposting a lot, but I don't hate the rich. I want to be rich. Who doesn't want to be rich? I have a deep appreciation for upper class culture, for fine tastes. The difference now is that the upper class you see on TikTok, on Instagram Reels, isn't an upper class. It's what a fucking child would do if they had $10 million. It's just pure materialism, because that's what people think being rich is. I've been talking in this video under the assumption that new money is bad, and you're probably wondering, why is new money bad? 2.5 million new millionaires? It sounds like our economy is doing great. Adjusted for inflation, there's 4 times.
I'm not sure what the point is. It's like jumping around a little bit because, like, is it making fun of new money for buying tacky shit, or is there like a deeper meaning about wealth inequality, or is it like it's not that what the rich people buy is not my concern. Like they've kind of always bought stupid shit. They've always bought luxury items. It's more like that they're getting all of the income. But I also like his energy. You know, some of you guys are a bit hater. Like, you know, people got to make their style. Maybe he's a new channel. I think it would benefit from honing in on a point.
Times as many millionaires now as there were in 1960. Not only is this a bad thing, it is a sign of economic collapse.
The top 20% of Americans own over 80% of the nation's total wealth. The bottom 20% and the next 20% barely even register on this bar chart, and the middle class makes up less than 5 to 6% of the overall bar.
Do you like statistics? Do you like just reading statistics out loud? Here's some statistics for you. Productivity and hourly compensation completely disconnected in 1970. Since 1979, the wages of the top 1% have gone up 138%. The middle class, about 15%. And even though middle class wages have increased marginally, 15%, their spending power hasn't gone up at all because of inflation and rising costs of living. The wages of college grads have been falling since 2000. CEOs make on average 300 times what the average employee makes. In 1970, it was only 24 times. Why am I reading these stats specifically? Before we get there, let's look at social cycle theory. The dominant belief of historians is that society has progressed slowly and surely in an upward direction since the dawn of history. This is what is called social evolutionism. In contrast to that, there are historians who believe that history repeats in cycles. Now, this is a very hot topic in history because there are many different cycles and everyone wants to think they can predict the future. For example, there's long cycle theory, which is where it begins with a world war or complete global conflict, and Once the conflict is over, a dominant state or a dominant world leader emerges. This continues upwards until the cracks start to show, the leader's power is questioned, the leader's power falls, and the world falls back into global conflict. This happens over the course of 75 to 100 years. Oh, that's crazy. It's been 77 years since World War II. There's secular cycle theory, where a state or a country or a city has a long trajectory upwards. It reaches a tipping point where the land and the state can no longer support the population. This causes standards of living to deteriorate, famine, disease, civil war, internal conflict, until the state fully collapses. Once the state collapses, all the land and resources...
I'm sorry, that I know that graph, that was not related. That was the graph of things that have inflation and not. It was like how TV prices have gone down, but college prices has gone up. That was... That certainly wasn't to do with the collapse of the state.
Support the population. This causes point where the land and the state can no longer support the population. This causes standards of living to deteriorate, famine, disease, civil war, internal conflict, until the state fully collapses. Once the state collapses, all the land and resources free up again, and the state begins to cycle over on an upward trajectory. This happens about every 250 to 300 years. Oh my god, that's crazy. It's been 246 years since 1776, since the beginning of the United States. That's really cool. There's fourth turning theory, where every 20 years a new generation takes over as the thought leaders, right? So you have like the boomers, you have Gen X, Gen Z, you have millennials. This happens 4 times until the 4th generation in the cycle, the 4th turn. The new culture is so fundamentally different from the first turn that there's internal conflict, and it's usually followed by a war and some really serious civil unrest or collapse of the state. This process takes about 80 years. Now, whether you...
It's not really. I want to jump in. I think the 4th turning is a little more nuanced than that. It's, the main idea is that the lessons of the last time are finally lost. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, when the Great Depression happened, we finally had banking regulation because people are like, hey, this fucking sucks. We have to regulate it. And then there's politicians that know, like, the hungriness and the failure and the bread lines, and they know like all of the bad things that's caused when it goes wrong, and so they police it and they protect it. And then those politicians get old and then they die, and there's a next wave that kind of remembers, and then they die, and there's another wave that doesn't remember at all, and they're like, why do we need these regulations? And they get rid of them. And then all the things, it's like that's the cycles of it, is that we unlearn the lessons over time. Anti-vaxxers, similar thing. It's like, you know, people learn why these things exist. Then they work good for a long time. Then we forget why we had them to begin with. Then we're like, hey, let's get rid of them. And then we have to, it's like, it progresses, but it's like you have to go back because people unlearn these lessons. It's not just like the generations being different. It's that,
you give credence to these theories is up to you. But
I mean, like you know, it's funny that my best example of someone explaining this is George fucking Bush. But I showed a George Bush clip recently that I thought was actually fucking phenomenal, where he was talking about, you know, the 20s and the 30s and isolationism and protectionism and all that, and like how we learned those lessons. And it's like, in my mind, it's like George Bush is the last politician that even remembers it. He even remembers why those things existed. And now we're past the George Bush era and nobody even remembers why we didn't do those things. Like, you know, he mentioned fucking Smoot-Hawley, which is a deep cut, but that was like in the 20s and 30s, right before the Great Depression. We had protectionism where we threw up a bunch of tariffs. We did a whole fuck ton of tariffs on every good coming into the United States. And then it caused a ton of retaliatory tariffs. Like Canada put up tariffs on our goods. All our allies put up tariffs on our goods. And it caused a huge depression. Like it was a big problem. Like our exports went way down. And we're forgetting why we did those things. Like, but George Bush remembers. George fucking Bush, a dude who he got like a C student, daddy's boy in Texas remembers that. And no people after that don't remember. We forgore. That's the lesson. We forgore.
What's most alarming is there's one trend common through all these cycles. This trend was present at the collapse of the Roman Empire, the Taiping Revolution in China, and the French Revolution. It's also happening right now as we speak. This is called elite overproduction. Elite overproduction is what happens when a society produces too many potential elites for the upper class to absorb, creating a surplus of people who feel they have been cheated by the system. Peter Turchin, one of the main proponents of this concept, likens it to dead wood building up in a forest and how that eventually becomes fuel for a forest fire. Elite overproduction also includes people who actually get to become elites. And the issue here is twofold. The first is that they drain resources from the lower class. That's obvious. But the second issue is that there's only so many positions for elites to occupy. There's only so many CEO positions or Senate seats. There can only be so many famous actors, famous authors, famous streamers. And now there's an exponentially rising amount of people who have the money and education to do those jobs. This tends to cause infighting amongst the elites, as well as elites trying to rally up lower classes in like revolutions or big populist movements where they try to identify with the lower class and try to, you know, really rile them up, get them passionate, try to force some change, trying to kick the elites that they're in competition with out. You know, that, I don't know, that's a really foreign concept. That one sounds kind of crazy. When I say the Urus is a prophecy of the apocalypse, I'm not shitposting, I'm genuinely serious. It's a vehicle that could only exist here and now. Lamborghini tried to make an SUV in the 80s. It was called the LM002. It was a huge failure. It sold like 300 units. The Urus is Lamborghini's best-selling car of all time, and it has sold 20,000. If you take anything from this video, it's that new money should concern you. You've seen this vehicle popping up in your city streets more than you've ever seen it before. You see it on TikTok, you see it on Instagram, you see it all the time. And it's nothing but a symbol of the double-digit IQ decadence that could only exist in the 2020s. It is a precursor to the hardship, to the crazy times we're about to experience, man. Things are about to get fucking insane, so stick around, or else you're gonna miss the big show.
I liked it. I think he got to his point. Yeah. I have read a lot about this idea that revolutions are never really the lower class rising up. It's always elites versus elites. It's some squad of elites who feels like their power is either slipping or they're underrepresented, and then they mobilize the lower classes, which is interesting. You think about like the American Revolution, just as an example. It's not like the poor downtrodden people of America organized that. It's like George Washington and all of these actually well-off American landowners who felt like they were being unfairly taxed by different elites in Britain, sort of organized, and, you know, they create the armies and they rise up. But it's like it's an upper class setting, getting it motivated. It's clear that with the commerce on the ability wasn't there when I get it now. Yeah, I think that's the idea. And, you know, he's making a point about there being so much wealth inequality. We have more people jockeying for these top positions than ever in politics and in finance. And so they're going to start finding ways to categorize and fight each other. I think there's something to that. Yeah. Yeah. When Mr. Beast becomes president, he will fix all of this with money from his own pocket. You wrote it so seriously with just like lowercase in a period that it was way funnier to me. You were just saying it like it's a matter of fact. It's like, oh, we don't have to worry. Mr. Beast will become president and he'll fix it all with money from his own pocket. Like, why even worry? Just that's awesome. That's so sick. That's so sick. Don't worry, Big A. The future president's watching TikToks right now and they're learning everything they need to from there. So we're all good. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, dude, I actually am jealous of future generations because, like, old presidents had to learn from fucking books and shit. And you can barely get through that. It's so boring. But now, future presidents will, like, they're downloading information so fast. They're going to be 10, 30 times as smart. A cool video about false advertising? Oh shit. We watched this. I think you linked it. Am I crazy, Potato Girl Alice? Or did we watch this video last week when you linked it? It's this woman.
Let's make the average.
This one, right? This. Didn't we watch this exact video last week? 9 months old. Speed running banger. What's this? Why do speedrunners hate their runs? I was talking about this with someone IRL recently. I'm not gonna watch this whole video. I mean, I don't know. It's. We could start it. We could see, but I think the idea here is that it frustrates me. I feel like when speedrunners get a world record and they go like, that was shit, or they don't pop off, it's like, bro, just make content. Just fucking, please. If you don't like it, just suck it the fuck up and pop off. You're investing 200,000 hours into this fucking game, and it's like the one chance to get someone to understand and like feel the emotion and get involved and get excited, and like you're killing your game that you love. It's I mean, I wish they would pop off authentically. I wish they'd be actually excited. But if you have to fake it, bro. It's so. I think it's just so crazy to be like dead-eyed after. If you've worked on anything for 10,000 hours and you get it, be happy. Just be happy. Just let people know that it's a happy moment. HBox would be a great speedrunner. Yes. No, HBox is an example, dude. He's good for the game because he adds some emotion to. People need a story. They need they need something to latch onto. They don't understand that you shaving off that 0.01 second on tiny hills, they don't get it until you get excited. They need to know you care. Yeah. Even someone mentioned Liam. I like watching Liam. The thing is, Liam also shows he cares in the funny, negative way. Liam getting pissed off at chat and getting mad is also funny. That's also emotional, and I can also enjoy that. It's that fucking middle of the road, like dead silent. That was not that good. Just like, that is so... No one can even get excited for you. You've sucked the air out of the room. Literally, you doing Hitman? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. In Hitman, I pop the fuck off if I ever get any record I got. I popped off, or I set up a whole fucking show for it. I would like set up. I would spend days on the presentation. We would get like a rap made and custom art, and I'm the opposite, bro. I would not. This is the most important video you'll ever watch.
The government.
This is about cheese. 70,000 view video about cheese. Oh, Bloomberg Originals did a video about how China is rewiring its faltering economy. That's what I talked about in the Marketing Monday before this video. Interesting. Let's see how close it is.
China is building a whole new economic engine, and it's a lot shinier than the last one.
我们正以高质量发展全面推进中国式现代化。
The prolonged slump of China's property market is dragging down consumer confidence and weighing on an economy already suffering from the effects of low productivity in heavy industry and cheap manufacturing. So, Beijing needs a replacement.
Bro, this is going to be bar for bar, and it's going to come out before the Marketing Monday video, but after the recording. I mean, it already came out. Fucking, this is, that's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up.
And it's focused on creating a high-tech, clean, lucrative, and sustainable one.
You're looking at creating new energy like solar panels.
Where did this get on views? I'm going to see if I... Oh, I'm going to beat it. I'm going to beat it, dude. Get fucked.
Or batteries, or building semiconductors, biopharmaceuticals, you're looking at AI.
All industries the world's major economies want a piece of and will compete for control of.
It's crucially important for China's ability, potentially, to overtake the United States as the world's biggest economy and most potent geopolitical force.
And Beijing's plan is starting to pay off. Over the past 4 decades, China transformed from one of the poorest countries in the world to its second biggest economy.
A lot of that was driven by property and infrastructure. Urbanization drove expansion of a property and infrastructure building, which was very powerful in sending China demand and growth much higher over the past.
Is this going to be literally, it's going to be real estate was the way up. Now real estate is popping. Now they're working on moving up the value chain in manufacturing. They're making batteries, EVs, and solar panels. But the danger is tariffs. Is this video is going to be literally the points I made in the order that I made them?
Past many years.
I'll watch.
So was the country's role as the world's manufacturer of choice for cheap, mass-produced goods and materials. But this familiar branding, it became something of a punchline, a derisive nod to China's exports being poor quality versions of Western products. President Xi Jinping intends to change that, for Made in China to become a badge of honor. And that will rely on cities like this.
We're here at GCL Technology's home base in Suzhou, China, about halfway between Beijing and Shanghai. GCL is the world's second leading producer of polysilicon.
Dude, my dream, I'm actually not, okay, this is a good video. I'm just, because what they do is they get fucking on the ground people. My dream is to like put more and more budget into Marketing Monday and not just do Dr. Battle reports, but actually be able to like get footage from something. I think that'd be so sick. Or if we even had a community, like if there was like something in France, I could get a community member in France to go film. And, you know, we don't have to use a ton of it, but we just get like some on the ground. I think that'd be so sick. Or if I could interview people, you know how they like a talking head interview and you're like, well, yes, Professor so and so, and then the guy's like, yeah, this is a bad problem for China. And they're nodding. I wish I could have that. I think this show is doing pretty well for it just being me and my personality explaining things from my fucking bedroom. But it could be so sick if we could like get more and level it up. That's my dream. What if we dress chatters up and they pretend to be professors? That'd be such a fire bit. If I'm like, and I asked a professor from Harvard Law, and it's just fucking Dr. Battle in a suit, and he's like, yeah, this is bad. I might do that. That's actually really funny. That's actually an incredibly funny bit to save time from actually finding someone to interview.
The key material for solar panels.
And it hit on a manufacturing breakthrough that helped it become the world's only commercial maker of this stuff, granular silicon, which uses significantly less electricity to produce compared with existing methods. It's cheaper and greener to make cutting-edge solar panels with. Exactly the kind of high-tech innovation President Xi Jinping wants.
Over the past decade, China has given consistent policy support and has helped back companies with cheap land, cheap credit, easy environmental permitting. It's seen its industry grow and grow and grow to the point where now it absolutely dominates global solar panel manufacturing.
Solar panels are just one of the new three, as Xi Jinping's government dubbed its priority areas of growth. Electric vehicles are one of the others, and the country's booming EV industry is making it a global auto heavyweight. BYD, based in the southern Chinese tech hub of Shenzhen, is China's best-selling car brand, and it's on track to once again become the biggest seller of EVs globally.
SU7 is sick.
China is producing these products at much cheaper prices than its competitors, but also the quality.
Fuck the big three, it's just Big G. That's such a hard bar. I have to give you credit where credit is due. You were on that. The second they said big three, you were on that, and I have to give you credit. That's what a good chatter does. You know what I'm saying? You're stepping up. You're playing offense. You're playing defense. The team needs you. Okay, you're all around, and that's a W. Okay, you're Bronny James now, not Bronny James 3 games ago. You're stepping up, dude. You're hustling down the court. You're not just.
If you look at the Chinese consumers, when they face both Tesla and domestic brands, which one they choose, the domestic brands by no means inferior.
And inside them, the final member of Xi's new three, lithium-ion batteries, used to power EVs, but also products you can attach to a drone or a dog. Together, the new three have driven the rapid growth in the value of China's exports, underpinned by that all-important policy support.
When Xi Jinping and his team identify a new priority.
Imagine this, but it's Dr. Battle.
When Xi Jinping.
This would be so fucking sick. We just cut to him in like a lab coat. And he's like, yeah, lithium. You really need subsidies for that.
Jinping and his team identify a new priority, they can point banks at providing the finance and businesses at acquiring the technology to try and get them to where they want to go.
This has not gone unnoticed.
Obviously, we're facing a very different geopolitical environment with all the tariffs talks being ramped up.
We're starting to hear the actual figures that Europe is planning on doing when it comes to tariffs and EVs from China.
25% tariff on Chinese steel and aluminum products, and we'll counter China's overcapacity in these industries.
Protectionist salvos from the US and Europe may slow China's tech ascent, but they're also fueling Xi's push for self-sufficiency. And that's not just about economics.
Key technologies aren't just good for growth, they also have direct national security implications. The bigger the Chinese economy is, the more that...
Dude, it is crazy how important drones are to modern warfare, as they're discovering in the Ukraine war. Drones are everything. Drones are the most cost-effective way to fight war. Drones beat tanks. Drones beat missiles. Drones beat... And China is so far ahead on making drones. China is it's like both Ukraine and Russia are buying drones from China to kill each other. Obama was ahead of his time, dude. I don't know how many times I gotta say this. Presidents after Obama did more drone strikes. He was just there when drones became a thing. He did not personally go, I fucking love drone striking. We got a drone strike. He wasn't like grabbing the controls and fucking. It's just like so many things to be critical of Obama for. Everyone only hits the drone strikes. For some reason, that has become Obama's legacy. He's the drone strike guy. And that's that's not the case, dude. He's not. He wanted to game. He's running the drone program to this day. If you go to the CIA black site and you look in there, it's called the black site because he's black. Obama's still in there fucking piloting the drone. He had a really big red button in the Oval Office that actually yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy how much more Truman loved nuclear bombs than Lincoln. He loved them way more, dude. Way more. It's the fucking nuclear bomb usage spiked.
They're going to be able to pay for a capable military.
You'll have heard of at least one company that knows this all too well.
Huawei had to back out of the smartphone market because it didn't have access to the most advanced chips.
So it developed its own instead, and the tension escalated.
The Biden administration, of course, has imposed these very strict export controls on what kinds of chips, what kinds of chip-making equipment can be sent to China.
And so on. It meant that despite Huawei's chip breakthrough, China's semiconductor industry is still behind global leaders. Xi's big push is facing domestic challenges though too. That declining property market we saw earlier has a ripple effect, hitting companies that produce steel and cement, as well as ordinary people.
Yeah.
Chinese investors don't have a ton of ways to put their money away for the future. One of the most successful in recent decades has been buying a house and seeing that value get better and better and better over time. And so the crash in the housing market, it's reduced consumer confidence.
Yeah, now they just use the global fentanyl trade to get their money out of China into US dollars and then buy stocks and houses here. Does this video have desync or am I crazy? I use my Fent to pay my rent. It's a really great slogan. A pretty bad lifestyle. It's really a win-win situation. Yeah, it really is a win-win situation. I mean, we get Fent and we get more bids for American property. So how is that? How do we lose? Make Fent pay rent. Fuck the big three. It's just Fent for me. Bro, don't try to jack his swag. TB222, I see you trying to jack the last chatter swag who crushed with the fucking fuck the big three. All right? And now you're trying to fucking jump on his train, dude. You're trying to say it again, but louder. My Fent dealer lets me use Afterpay. I feel like I'm going to say something that's going to be a little bit controversial around here. I fucking hate Klarna and Afterpay, of course. And so I make fun of them a lot. But I've noticed that chatters have begun just saying, it's like a Mad Libs where they just throw Afterpay into a sentence. And then that becomes the joke. That's not, you guys you're like pandering a bit to me. Okay? Because I like making fun of Afterpay. And then you go, yeah, it's because I giggle, but because I think it's funny. But now I'm noticing that I'm being played for a fool. Fuck the big three. It's just Afterpay. It's back, baby. It's back. Holy shit. He brought it right back. VIP. We're so back.
You can see that clearly on this chart. Over the past 5 years, while China's factories ramped up production, consumers tightened their belts.
China can't continue on its development path by producing too much, consuming too little, and expecting the US consumer to pick up the slack. For Xi Jinping and his aspiration to drive China's new productive forces, that could be a significant problem.
Back here at GCL, the solar technology company in Xuzhou, innovation is helping its parent city transition towards high-tech sectors, away from a long-standing reliance on mining and heavy industry. But take a look at this analysis from Bloomberg Economics of industrial contributions to China's gross domestic product. The data show the same transition is expected to take place across the country, with property's contribution to GDP continuing to decline, but technology sectors rising to fill the gap.
What the push for this economic transformation here in China means is that no longer is China's future going to be dependent on taking something the rest of the world made and producing it cheaper and quicker and reselling it to everybody else. What you're seeing now in solar panels, companies like GCL, and electric vehicles and batteries, is that Chinese companies are at the forefront of bringing new products to market.
It's a blueprint South Korea knows well. It pivoted from a reliance on heavy industry to technology and became one of the world's biggest exporters, fostering popular household names in the process.
While Japan and Korea could export their way to high income, it's just much harder for China to do that because there's just not enough global demand to absorb all of the Chinese exports.
Beijing also isn't an ally of Washington, unlike Seoul. Still, Chinese leaders have set an ambitious goal of boosting per capita GDP.
Yeah, I mean, just the big problem is tariffs. It's like other countries don't want China to dominate batteries, EVs, and solar panels over their domestic industries. They don't really mind Samsung making chips and phones, and so we'll see. But I mean, it's a pretty big gamble. What about the free market? Rules are changing globally. Every country that was like, yeah, globalism, free market, is now like throwing up walls because they're seeing unrest internally and they're seeing job losses. Why are companies so scared of China? Just traditional military fears? What do you mean? Companies are scared of China because it's like a huge population. Like if you're Apple, you sell a fifth to more. Maybe am I crazy? Maybe as high as a third of all iPhones are in China. It's like a huge part of your business. Oh, where are countries? Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, if you're not like the U.S., nobody has a military close. It's U.S. number one spender, then China, then everywhere else is way down. And then even non-militarily, it's like everybody trades with China. They're like the world's manufacturer. So, it's you can't really bully them around. A lot of people need their goods. So you say China is having a brat summer. I don't know why that always hits for me when I'm saying something serious and then someone at the end goes like, so you're saying this is like Roblox fucking story mode, or they just say something stupid and it does seem to hit. Yes, I'm saying Xi Jinping has been listening to Charlie and is having a brat summer. Okay, it's 11:30. I'll finish this video, but
from the current level, and maintaining a growth rate for the economy of about 5% a year.
I think if China gets it right from a growth point of view, China can maintain a solid pace of growth for many years to come. And because of China's sheer size, its contribution to global growth will be important on the global stage.
There are patterns in what makes you laugh, LOL. It's called a sense of humor, bro. Yeah, so for you. Same for you. Everybody. That's There are things that delight you more than others, and they bring you joy. You have a certain pattern of things you like and don't like, and you've built your personality around these things. I've never laughed at the same thing twice. I don't find that to be true. Yo, Atrioc, I just quit my job to pursue my dreams. Okay. I did a bunch of 2CB and Molly. I don't know what 2CB is. I'm assuming it's a drug. I talked to God, and he told me to come back down and twill you. I love you on God. Hopefully twill is not and tell you I love you on God. I see. Okay. Well, tell God thank you. If you talk to him, tell him thank you for that nice message. Hopefully there's a part 2 to God's plan. You know what I'm saying? I never listened to that whole song by Drake, but hopefully there's a part 2 to pursue your dreams than just telling me you love me. Have you ever noticed how Atrioc shows his reactions through expressions? When he's impressed or happy, you can see it in his face. The classic Minecraft line. This is a good era, dude. 2020, 2021. George Not Found. Minecrafters going live every day to 400K people. Literally trying to LARP as Hamilton. Just UK British boys LARPing as the American Revolutionary Hamilton in rap form and getting hundreds of thousands of views and children all over watching them. It was truly an era. We'll never quite get it back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm going to end tonight. I will not be live tomorrow. I'm working on Marketing Monday. We're going to hit it for Monday, folks. Can I get a hell yeah? Can I get a yes, I believe in you, Big A? We're going to have a fucking Marketing Monday on Monday. We had a long meeting yesterday and today with the team. We're trying to hit our fucking target of Monday multiple weeks in a row. I will see you on Monday. Let's get this bread, dude. Let's keep it going. It's a fucking challenge, but I'm working on it. All right. It's my great mission. Marketing Monday on Monday. We got some cool topics. And hey, Notorious Thicks, I missed your message, but thank you for the 22 months. I was just re-listening. Well, I was rewatching the Popathon video, to be honest. It got recommended to me, and I narcissistically clicked it. Because I kind of forgot. I haven't watched it since I uploaded it, you know? And I was like, damn, this is fun. This is a fun video. And your songs were really good in it, Notorious Thicks. I just wanted to say that. You actually had like a lot of songs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Good night. Goodbye. Good luck. Yeah, what I'm saying is Eric the Pooh, it's like a generational edit. He's not a very active editor because he's got other stuff going on, but that edit was phenomenal for the Popathon video. And it's about to hit 1 million. Goodbye.